Hi there. So this week I'm gonna dive into just look and okay, what do I have in my desk? Different type of controllers, how to use them when creating music, and then I will dive into the controllers deeper and how they integrate with your digital audio workstations in upcoming series of videos. However, now I'm just doing an overview, and actually I realized one interesting thing that I'm gonna highlight here, but let's dive into the desk setup and see how it looks like, and then discuss along the way that why I have selected the ones that I have in my desk and why they are there. Okay, cool. Alrighty, let's dive into my desk and what controllers I have there. So to control faders, I mainly use the SSL UF8, and that is basically depending also a bit which digital audio workstation I'm working with. So mainly I'm using this definitely with Cubase and Luna and others. But then what I noticed, actually funny enough, that I can easily switch this into Ableton Push 3 or even to the fader from Softube Console 1 Mark III fader. I have also the the Softube Console 1 channel that I of course use when mixing and working with my music. Then on the side I have another display that is a touch display. I usually open up the plugins over there so that I can basically then select what type of controller I want to use and then use the wheel over here to dive into the required value on that controller. I have also, for quick access keyboard, I have the small Lumi here so that I can play things easily when creating music. I do prefer this Kensington trackball and it's wireless. Surprisingly, the batteries actually are lasting a long time. I have had this like more than a year, and I think it still has a lot of battery left. Then I have an iPad here, which is a touchscreen, and of course. Then I have an iPad here, which I can use also to control different type of digital audio workstations, and I will dive more into that how does that work with the digital audio workstations. But now if I would basically start an Ableton Live, for example, and start and stop apps and do things, I have a Stream Deck program for that. So certain type of desk controls I have here in the Stream Deck that I can easily basically then do these controls. So you can see that I can launch different digital audio workstations or tools that I need when creating music. So that's over here. And then I also have this monogram that is I have configured for specific digital audio workstations. So now it is just controlling a Spotify. But when I have a digital audio workstation up and running, then I can control different type of things within the digital audio workstations. Or then I could use these sliders to control the virtual instruments like the expression and modulation, for example. You can freely program these. We can dive into that a bit also. I have actually done a video about these controllers earlier, but I thought that it might be helpful to see and show how this can be utilized in different digital audio workstations more specifically, because I did the kind of an overall look on these controllers and show that how could one utilize this with your digital audio workstation. Anyway, I could basically fire up a live, so you can just see that then how does the environment changes when the Ableton Live gets started. So now you already see that I got the controllers over here to control the live, and this changed, the Monogram changed to control live, and also so did the Stream Deck. So depending on the the type of a control that I need and I want to use, I can then basically, I have programmed this a bit differently for different use cases. And then of course mainly I can also use the SSL UF8 by itself, as you saw in the previous video where I showed basically how to utilize this in like with Cubase 14, and how it makes things convenient when you can program all these buttons and things. But yeah, that's basically it regarding about the controller and desk setup. And now of course you can see that this changed to the to reflect what I have in my live. And so I have one channel only there, but others are like empty. And then when I start to add tracks, so of course that works as fader should. So not about that so much anymore. One thing that I actually, as I mentioned, I noticed that if I'm like working with live specifically, that I just showed an example, what I have done is that I can actually take this off and replace this controller. So I'll do a replacement of the controller so you see what I mean. I can actually bring push in here, and I actually need to do a bit of a juggling with the power cable so that I get it into the right place. But this is the thing that I can do. I actually so now I can put this into here and then hook this with the, luckily these are all USB-C, so I can hook it with USB-C. So I created this stand by myself using a 3D printer. I think I also mentioned in some of the sessions about that. So that now I can, and basically if I'm using live, I can take the SSL UF8 away and then have push here with Ableton Live. And then of course that makes life easy. So I can use push and the channel together to do and create music in live. Of course I'm not having the faders then, but that's okay, because I can also do the tweaking of the volume here or even here. So I have options to do that in that respect. So yeah, so that's it. But like now, of course, when I'm starting Ableton Live, everything here will change, and you will see the change here as well. So now it is gearing up for push, and so is also if I take this channel, you see that this starts to work with the respective channel. And then if I'm adding a, let's say that I'm adding a MIDI track and I go into my collections, my favorites, let's go to an instrument track, maybe bring in, what should we bring in? Like, no, let's just do a Spitfire like stack here. So now I'm bringing that in. So I have that now mapped, and I have these channels now here. As you can see, it also that the SSL, you don't need the SSL UF8 in order to deal with the volume, so you can do it from here, or you can even do it from here. Okay, that's a macro, but when you are in a control mode, you can then of course select the channel level from here, and so necessarily you don't need the fader control to work with the Ableton Live. However, there is benefit when doing mixing and mastering, but anyway, when you are creating music, then you do just fine with the push and the console one channel unit. so that you can easily then of course bring in the channel unit and then see what are the VU meters or whatever you are kind of changing, a compression, release ratio. This is actually extremely handy that it actually shows what you are actually doing on the screen, so you can easily see that how it is influencing your sound. So that's pretty much it. And then of course, if I have some plugins, I could bring them here, or I could bring a second display here. I'm not gonna show my my primary display in that respect, because I'm now kind of dealing with the controllers on the desk. So I'm just basically showing an idea that and here also I can now fire up the keyboard, and then use the keyboard like the Lumi keyboard to key in some notes. And so yeah, so this is how it works as a desk. And let's do just an example on a plugin. So let's bring a plugin here. Let's add a device, collection, mix. Let's do something simple. No, let's take maybe no. What should we take? Let's take the danger. Okay, that one. So now if I open up the plugin, I can actually bring that plugin into the next screen, and I can actually also here tweak the things. Or if I'm doing it here, I can see how it is kind of reacting to things that I'm changing from the push, and then I can easily work with this in that respect. I could also tweak them here, as you can see. Then like the values are changing over there, and it's pretty exact. So I could even make that screen bigger so that the plugins would be bigger in that respect, that they would not be so small here. So that's one option that I've been also kind of trying and practicing. But now when I've been doing another project, I need more high resolution video here. So I still have that resolution in that respect on the smaller scale, or higher resolution in that. Okay, so that's it. And then of course I'll just go and quickly quit the live. So I'll do one other thing yet still that this enables me, of course, to do. I can switch these on and off, and then if needed I could also bring the Console 1 Softube Fader Mark III unit here. So I just basically then plug in the push unit, and then I move push away. And then if I want to use the fader unit, I'll just bring it here, and now I have basically the Console 1 fader and channel together. So again, if I'm only doing mixing and I'm not anymore like on a song creation mode, I don't need all the kind of the shortcuts that I had programmed. I could basically do that with the Metagrid as well. And so in that case, when focusing on the mixing and mastering, this will do well. But then when I'm creating music, I'll prefer definitely SSL UF8, because I can have the soft keys programmed to do different type of macros and keyboard shortcuts that I want, so to speed up things, as I highlighted in my previous video. Okay. Alrighty, so that is how my desk looked like, and as you see, I have few controllers that I use when creating music. I have a certain purpose for each and every controller, that where and when I use them, and of course you could have less, you don't need that many. And for example, the Metagrid itself is an extremely great and versatile controller, and you can do a lot of things with the Metagrid. So I was thinking that I'll do a short series of videos how to use Metagrid with different digital audio workstations and how to benefit from it. So that will be the highlight for the next upcoming videos, and maybe also about Stream Deck. I already covered the SSL UF8 and why I used that instead of Softube Console 1 Fader Mark III. So if you haven't checked it out, please check it out. There is some key difference between those two. Both are great, but depending on your needs, they are different. So remember to subscribe for my channel from up there. And hopefully you like my videos, because that is also a great signal that you like what I'm doing, and it supports my channel to subscribe and like my videos. So thanks for watching. Until next time.